so these are the tacos. These are becoming a house favorite around here. This marinade has followed me around for several years now. It's a version of a marinade that my mentor, my Yoda of chefs, Clark McDaniel in Texas, taught me. It's a slight variation of the one he used, but it's basically a soy brown sugar chipotle. It's got some cilantro in there as well. A couple of secret ingredients that I have to keep secret for obvious reasons.
Texas steak or marinade is
so. Yeah, this is the steak itself. It's a prime Creekstone Farms skirt steak.
Yeah,
which is amazing. These guys are great. They're out of Arkansas City, Kansas. Basically, we marinate this overnight. You know, as we grill it, nice high heat. I like to really, just like any steak, I think the key to a good steak is that char on the outside, that crispiness, that nice char flavor from the grill. We just baste it as we go. This stuff's good. We actually use the same marinade on our burgers as well. Yeah. And I believe should be coming out soon. It's Vibe Magazine just made us the #1 burger in Laguna Beach, which is very cool.
I mean, well deserved. Well deserved. The burger. I mean, we're having one of those, so you'll see photos of it. But the burger's insane.
Wagyu beef.
Mention. Yeah. I mean, beautiful cut of steak. Hardly anyone thinks about skirt steak. This is one of like the most underhyped, appreciated steaks I think ever.
I don't know why either, because everybody likes to use hanger steak and flap steak, but this skirt is really impressive, and it's got the perfect fat content. It's got that really meaty, umami, powerful meat flavor as well. It's super versatile. So, and I mean, even if you slightly overdid it, right, you still it's still a good eat.
It's tender.
I don't encourage overcooking it, but it still works well. So
it happens, right?
Yeah, of course, to the best of us, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and the real key to this is, and I have to tell my guys this all the time in any kitchen that I've ever worked in, and it's it's cooking 101, but especially with meat, because we're going to slice this meat, is you got to let the meat rest, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like such a thing. I know people get so excited, like, oh, I'm going to cut it up and get to work, but that's really the bread and butter, is to keep this sucker resting and all the juices to really suck up in there and lock into the meat.
I feel like when I go to my buddies' houses and they barbecue and they want to cut it because they want to see what it looks like inside. But you have to learn to, just by press, you can feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a pro.
Yeah.
But if you're at home and you're doing this, when you push on it, if it feels like this, unless you want it well done, like you want it to come off with a little sponginess to it.
You don't want it to feel like your forehead. That's what you're going to avoid that at all costs. So
let it rest for 5 to 10 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you can.
I mean, in this environment, it might be a little tougher to do.
So
right?
It just depends. So on busier nights, we'll fire it up like this and kind of set it off to the side, and then when we need an order, we'll reheat it on the grill as we go, and then that way it's less lead time. It'll give it a chance to rest. Cooking this right up from scratch, you got to give the fat a good amount of time to cook. If not, you'll have it'll be too chewy.
Yeah.
So you got to let it render down quite a bit. Find a good spot on the grill. Oh, there we go. We're getting there. Again, it's all about patience.
Man, that's nice. Making me real hungry.
I know the smell in here, man.
Oh, it's amazing.
What was it? Who was it on the Food Network years ago? It was Emerald. He used to call it about smell-o-vision or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, you can smell it. No, it's good stuff, man. And there's a little bit. There's not a lot. Just a little bit of brown sugar in the marinade.
Right.
So as it caramelizes on the grill, it really creates this really amazing crunchy kind of texture and natural sweetness. It's really good stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's just patience. You got to let it cook.
Amazing. I miss being in the kitchen, that's for sure.
I'll trade you for a night. No, I love it. I love what I do. I think it's it's like any job that you love. There's days that are more stressful than others, but at the end of the day, especially this line of work, I think you really have to love what you're doing to survive in it. And you can tell the guys that I don't want to say come in just for a paycheck. That's probably not the right term, but the guys that don't really absorb the passion for it and really have a general care for hospitality and the culinary arts, they kind of fade away over time. That's why I've been doing this for since I was 15 years old. So I've been at way too long, but in a sense,
look,
but it's great. I love what I do.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do, right? I mean, you know, I mean, I'm sure you have other passions, but you know, but as you were saying, I think that there's there's cooks and there's chefs, right? So
of course,
chefs are always passionate about this business.
Well, yeah, too, and it's like it's funny too because I think sometimes I take it for granted because I just do it for a living. But you know, my friends are like, what are you doing today? I'm like, oh no, I'm just developing this vinaigrette or whatever. They're like, dude, that's your job. They're like, I'm going to sit at a desk and you're just messing around with sauces. They're like, dude, I wish I had your job. So yeah, I'm very fortunate in that regard. It's you know, and then going back to what we were talking about earlier was, you know, I was a musician too, so I always had this kind of creative juice flowing through me. My dad was a musician, was a drummer in the '60s, and I've always had this arts kind of side of me. So it was like, okay, when the music thing fell through, my plan B was this. Yeah. So I couldn't. It was a win-win for me. So it was kind of a natural progression from music into this. You know, I really get to express myself and do something I love every day. You know,
I love it. I love it. It's amazing. I actually had a pivotal point in my life right after high school, or at the end of high school. My plan was to go to culinary school.
Oh no way! Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry. Well, oh, there it is. Sorry.
I saw the movie Wall Street with Michael Douglas.
Of course.
And ended up going into finance. And but you know, it was that fork in the road. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's funny.
Everybody's got it. You know, everybody's obviously there's different directions you take. I think, you know, when me, like I said, it was just like I was fortunate to have something to. My plan B was just as creative as plan A. I think I'm that way in general. Like my brain never stops. You know, I have trouble sleeping. It's like my brain's always like running. So this is a good outlet for me, and just like the music was, and it's great.
I love it. Well, this looks amazing. You're gonna plate this, so you're gonna plate us up some tacos. You've got all the accoutrements over here.
I've always believed in that. If you use, you know, execution, obviously, technique, obviously, but it really starts with good quality ingredients. For sure. You know what I mean? From everything, from the salt you put on it to the to-go box that you give leftovers in. You know, and that was the culture change we really wanted to start here. You know, I'm
crazy about where it's sourced. I'm crazy about like. My favorite farm for chicken is Mary's Chicken out of Central
Pittman.
California. Yeah.
Her duck, chicken, all of her, everything Mary Pittman is great.
Yeah,
she's amazing. We could probably cut this. It's a little bit early, but we can cut it. So basically, for the tacos itself, you know what I can do is, all right. So this is just simple flour tortilla setup. I can go through the sauces, I guess. You ready?
Ready.
So it's pretty simple setup. Simple flour tortillas. These little guys, sometimes they act up and don't want to fold. And then a couple of salsas. So this one, it's basically salsa verde. We call it green pico de gallo. What separates this one is, it's not only it's the typical salsa verde setup, tomatillo, onion, garlic, cilantro, parsley, but we throw fresh mint in it. The fresh mint really gives it a pop.
When I had it last week, I was trying to figure it out. It's the mint.
You got fresh mint in that. Oh
man, it makes it just feel, it's like explodes.
It's very aromatic. You can almost taste it in your nasal cavity. So we really like that.
Refreshing.
Yeah, very refreshing. So some simple pickled red onions. Little secret, what we do, we actually, to get them a nice red color, we pickle them with beet juice. So it gives them a cool color.
Nice.
Simple salsa roja. It's like couple of different roasted red peppers, guajillo chilies, jalapeno, vinegar, cooked down, pureed, voila. And this one's kind of fun. So this is chimichurri yogurt. So it's like just a simple 0% yogurt, tossed with basic chimichurri, cilantro, parsley, red pepper flakes, a little bit of vinegar. We puree all that in a blender and it comes out like that. It's great. You put that on anything, dude.
Yeah.
Right here, This is our steak. See the nice crust we were talking about, that nice char?
Yep.
That is key, especially when you're using a high fatty meat. This is key. It really separates the winners from the losers.
Well, that's what, when you said a little bit of sugar, you don't, if you had too much sugar, this is going to be torched.
Yeah.
So that's really a key component to it.
Yeah, it's just enough in the marinade to caramelize and get crunchy on the grill. We let it rest, so notice if this wouldn't have rested, once I just cut that, this would be full. All the juice would be all over the board right now. But now we let it rest, so the juice is up in the meat where we want it. And then also another component of this, I don't know if you can kind of see it, but you'll see the grains of the meat.
Yeah.
See how the grain of the meat goes this way?
Yep.
You always want to cut across it.
Yep.
Makes it much more tender. So that's another little kitchen technique hack for you guys. Also, we cut this fairly thin. I don't want to cut it too thick. Sometimes it can be a chewier bite. We don't want that, so we're gonna cut it super thin. That's it.
Beautiful. Man, well done.
There you go, dude.
Awesome.
Bam.
Thank you.
It is.
Cheers.
Oh, cameraman.
Man.
There's the cameraman.
Woo!
There he is. Don't forget the cameraman.
Wow. Oh man.
So we're gonna plate this up. Pretty simple plating. 4 simple flour tortillas. We got the salsa verde with the mint we talked about. Salsa roja. We got the pickled red onion, pickled with that beet juice. The chimichurri crema. Got a little bit of cilantro as well. A couple of fresh limes. You're out the door, man.
Man,
that's it.
Plate your own.
Lunch for you guys. How about that?
Man, well done. That was delicious.
Thanks,
it's like
man.
Tender, that flavor.
Thank you.
But the marinade is subtle, because sometimes if you go too heavy on the marinade, you don't taste the flavor of the beef.
No, and this like I said, this meat really is a sponge for flavors and marinades, and it's really a wonderful high fat content meat. It's one of my favorite cuts.
It's perfect in every way. The fat is perfect. The tenderness is perfect. The way you cooked it obviously is flawless.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, this is it. This is why we come here. This is it right here.
Thank you guys so much for coming out today. We appreciate it, man.
Well, we're gonna look forward to all the rest of them.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thanks,
brother.
dude. Thanks, guys. See ya.
That's a wrap.